This is the Six Sigma Sim Racing 6S Slim Cockpit, and for those looking for an aluminum profile sim racing chassis at an affordable price point, this just may be for you. Sent to me by Six Sigma Sim Racing for review, I've been putting this rig to the test for a while now, and I'm finally ready to give you all my thoughts on it. So in today's video, I'll be going over all of the good, the bad, what you should know, and if it could be for you. Before that though, keep in mind that exclusive discounts for this and several other sim racing companies can be found in the video description, and with all of that said, let's get right into it. Starting at around the $300 price range, the 6S Slim fittingly looks slimmer than a traditional aluminum profile cockpit since it's made out of a 40 series aluminum base. But before getting into its inking performance and all of that though, we have to start from the beginning with the packaging. This previously being something that I've complained about them before, they've seemingly worked diligently to address this and it was clearly visible. You see, every part of this product, and I really mean every single part, came fully wrapped in bubble wrap, plastic, and other packaging materials to ensure a pristine arrival. Ultimately, this resulted in no visible scratches, damage, or imperfections to any part of the rig, so absolutely no complaints here. Well, there actually is one complaint, but I'll mention that later. Assembly was also a seamless process. Unlike before, physical user manuals are now present here, and the instructions were easy to understand, and in a few hours alone, I was able to put this together myself, and that's saying more than you probably think. All set and put together, this cockpit, despite its slim appearance, is actually pretty good looking, and the optional accessories certainly play a helping hand. You see, while the chassis alone currently retails for $315, what I have here is worth more due to the optional added accessories that were sent out to me. The most prominent will of course be the Galaxy Red seat, which features a fluorescent red suede-like fabric with a soft foam cushioning on the front and a sparkly red fiberglass shell on the back that screams for attention. While this is without a doubt the most eye-catching part of this rig, however, I think the big difference maker has got to be the Six Sigma heavy-duty feet stand. This $90 add-on elevates the rig by about 15 centimeters, which not only makes it significantly easier to get in and out of, but it also completely changes the look and stance of this rig, in my opinion, giving it a much more premium look. Of course, being an aluminum profile chassis, you get the most out of the aluminum profile benefits, and that includes being able to attach the optional keyboard and mouse tray, shifter plates, PC mounts, and other very neat and helpful accessories that are all offered. These accessories, specifically the keyboard and mouse plates, are not necessary at all, but certainly help make your life easier and give your rig a more complete look. Now the final thing to go over here is of course the freestanding monitor stand, which completes this build. Although several types are offered, the one I have here can support my 49-inch super ultra-wide monitor and up to a 55-inch TV. However, its versatility is really its strength. You see, since it's a freestanding unit, I was able to, on multiple occasions, move it around to fit my exact wants and needs, and at the end of the day, it has done a fantastic job not only doing what it's supposed to do, but also completely putting together this entire build. Accessories aside though, it's time to get into the performance of this budget chassis.
My old friend.
Despite this cockpit's entry-level position in the market, I really wanted to put it to its limits, so I fitted it with some relatively high-end gear, including a 12mm direct drive base and a set of stiff load cell pedals. Overall, what I can say is that for what it is, I've been seriously impressed. Pushing this rig to its limits, some relatively minor flex is visible, but ultimately didn't impact my in-game performance whatsoever, and overall, I felt confident maxing out the force outputted by the Fanatec Club Sport DD, flowing through the gears on my H-pattern and sequential shifters, and aggressively heel-toe downshifting on the pedals. Now this certainly is not the most rigid cockpit that I've ever used, and there are some movements and flexing seen under heavy strain. However, compared to foldable entry-level cockpits and similarly priced non-extrusion rigs, this is probably the best in terms of performance for money, especially considering I'm using higher end gear than most with this cockpit probably would be using. And now of course, being an aluminum profile rig, you're also getting the vast adjustability that comes with that, as the angle, height, and distance of pretty much everything you could want is adjustable. Apart from just adjustability and performance, there are also lots of other good things to mention. The optional shifter plate is large enough for both a shifter and a handbrake, the matte black finish of the aluminum profile beams looks very sleek, and every bit of sim racing hardware that I wanted to use was compatible for mounting. Moreover, Six Sigma Sim Racing have also done a great job with the attention to details, as now they have branded end caps, included cable management clips, feet studs to protect your floor, and the optional seat also comes with a seat slider. Now on the topic of the seat, it's worth re-mentioning that it does not come included for this cockpit's $300 price range. For this reason, many of you who may be looking to save money could salvage a seat from somewhere else or buy a different one used, this being something that I see people do literally all the time. However, if you do choose to go with the one I have here, I actually have no complaints about it. Not only do I think that it looks extremely unique and adds massive personality to the setup as a whole, but it's also very comfortable, large enough for roughly any body size, and has kept me immersed in the game. Now in terms of any drawbacks with the 6S Slim, there are some, albeit fairly minimal. For example, if you ever want more advanced sim racing gear like a motion platform, you'll need a chassis with larger beams at the base. Granted, I don't think that anyone who has motion platform money will be cheaping out on the cockpit in the first place, but whatever. Something that many cockpits suffer from, this not being an exception, is also loose end caps, which practically fall by just looking at them. And finally, something that I almost feel guilt-tripped into mentioning here is just the plastic waste from all of the packaging. After all was said and done, I filled up an extra large bag filled with bubble wrap, plastic, and other packaging materials, which at the end of the day truly is just terrible for the environment. So while all the products came in perfect condition, I wish there was some sort of middle ground they could find with some more environmentally friendly solution. All of that said, it is easy for me to recommend the Six Sigma Sim Racing 6S Slim Sim Racing Cockpit. Although it is targeted for a more beginner audience, it doesn't sacrifice much in terms of versatility, performance, and even design. Adding the optional accessories that I have here further completes this build and takes it up to the next level, but even without them, it is still a very solid platform to work with. So for entry to mid-range sim racers looking for an aluminum profile rig without needing to sell a kidney, the 6S Slim, I can confidently say, should be in consideration. With all of that said though, let me know your thoughts on this product down in the comments, and as always, thank you all for watching, stay safe, and have a fantastic rest of your day.